Okay, so on the last episode, we kind of utilized this random roll generation method from the first edition AD&D to kind of create our map here just by rolling a d20 and seeing where the chips lay, right? So I went ahead and kind of colored everything in, gave it a little more detail to give us a little bit of a layout to this new continent that our two characters, well, maybe the one character, maybe we have the dwarf, he comes over. He sails in and he lands at this new city. And then this is the land he kind of inhabited. So we have kind of these little hexes here, these light green ones with the grass. They're like plains and stuff. These weird watery, hilly looking areas. And down here, that's like a marshy wetlands areas. We got our forests up in here, down in here. We got a lonely mountain from a roll. So maybe there's some kind of a dwarven settlement or some kind of cool gems or treasures down in there, so that might be worth checking out as we go. As well as this mountain range here. We've got some desert over in this way. We got some badlands, a couple ponds and stuff like that. With the shakeout of the dice, we've got some inhabited areas that kind of enough to give us a good little spread of things to go and look at, try and explore. So I just need to fill out the details a little bit more about kind of like populations and stuff like that. So we'll go through this map together here, and I'll go through kind of the list, of just how many people are living in these cities and stuff like that. I might have forgotten the roles, but we'll figure it out together. So I'll go we'll just work our way across, right? So this top one was just a single dwelling. I don't know, I made it like a little teepee guy on the plains. I don't know who's living up here, but I don't think we'll worry too much about this for now. Just because like the population, according to this, says there would be like 1 to 3, 1 to 12 would be the population there. But we won't roll for that right now. If we ever get up into there, then we'll figure it out, right? So same goes with this. This is a single dwelling in the marshland. This shrine, however, I'm thinking maybe we'll give this shrine a name. Okay, so for that shrine, it's kind of in the marshland and right off this little pond that's right here. So I just brought up a random shrine generator on my tablet here. And it says you can pick like a primary element, and it's kind of in a watery land. So let's go with water, and then let's see what kind of shrine names it comes up with. Let's come on down here. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it the Aqua Sanctum. Otherwise, what else is there? Cascading Echo, Serenity Springs, the Mist Veil Shrine, the Glistening Pool. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it the Aqua Sanctum Shrine. So we have a name. So I labeled that as number 3 on here. So on my little tab here, I'll just write the Aqua Sanctum. Now for number 4, this came up as an ancient city, a ruined city on my little tables here. So we'll give it a name though. I just brought up again random city name generators, and I was seeing here it's just right next to another pool kind of hex in the forest. So maybe we'll just give it the name Arkpool. This is the ancient city of Arkpool. So we'll put that down, but also I need to get a population count for it. So for this one, because it was a ruined city, we'll come across the city here to the population, and it had like 10 to 60,000 at its heyday. So we'll figure out just what it is. What do we got? 10 or so that we'll do a D6 to figure out the tens of thousands. So it had 40,000. That's all we can figure, because I guess it's an ancient city. There's probably not that many people in there now, right? They're probably all gone. You never know. Maybe we get there and it's populated with all kinds of people. But in its heyday, it had 40,000 people in this ancient city of Arkpool. Now, coming all the way across to number 5 here, I believe this was a village we had rolled in this kind of scrubland. Now, I'm playing with the idea of like all these little purple areas are kind of like they're scrub hexes. It's supposed to kind of be like, I don't know, rough terrain kind of thing, kind of thorn bushes, stuff like that. But I was playing with the idea of making it almost like a dead magic zone, because then you could have like a village within this dead magic hex, and it's like, well, why are they there? Why do they not want magic, or why? What made them set up there? Maybe this was some kind of weird cataclysm for why this old place kind of fell into ruins in the first place, with all these ruined cities and shrines about. So I don't know. We'll play with that idea as we go. But for now, we got to give a name and a population to this little village, which is still active. So let's have a look at our little table again. Find out the village has 6 to 900. So I'm going to roll a d10 for that. Close enough, right? So this has about 500 people in this little village. And then once again, I'll get my little tablet out and we'll figure out a random village name. Now, going on the old village generator, this, I don't know why, but that cold ham made me laugh. So I'm gonna go with that for this village in the scruff here. We're gonna call it Cold Ham Village. Village of, what was it, 500 people. Sorry, I'm writing my little populations down on the side here. Cold Ham has 500 people. And that would be in number 5. Cold Ham Village. Right on. Now let's bring it on down to number 6. So this was a castle. We'd rolled a castle. Hold on, I have that written down here. I jotted it down initially. I want to say this one was a small walled castle with a keep. So we need to figure out the population on here. Small walled castle with a keep. So we can come to these inhabitants here. So I'm going to need to roll a D100. So I'll grab my D100. For the small walled castle, or no, I can just roll. It is a, let's have a look. Small walled castle with a keep is a medium. So we're going to be rolling on the medium table here. And let's see what we got. We got a 84. So 66 to 100 is full of characters. Okay, so we'll have to roll on the NPC creation in the solo Dungeon Master's guides, or using the Dungeon Master's guide itself to inhabit this with characters. Now, I'm not going to worry about that for right now because we're a little far off from the main hexes that we're going to be starting in. So I will make a note though that we will roll on the charts here to fill these with characters. And this one is number 6, so I'll just write this beside here, number 6, and we'll make a note of that for later. I'll get the generator out and we'll figure out a name for this castle. All right, so for this little castle here with the keep, here's my generator, and look at that, we have Oldingham Fortress. Kind of would match the Coldham Village because they're fairly decently close. Couple days journey, so maybe I'll name this one Oldingham Fortress, and we'll put that in the tab there. Okay, number 7 on the list was another ruined city. So again, we're going to find out how many they had in their heyday. And we don't know what it's populated with now, but we'll figure out kind of what it was back in the day. So for the city, again, it's a 10,000 to 60,000. Let's figure out the 10,000. So this city had 50,000, roughly, inhabitants in it. Pretty crazy. And then we need to come up with another city name for it. Okay, now here's my city name generators. I like the bottom one, that Anwood, because this is kind of situated right in the woods, right? Maybe this wooded area is the Anwoods, and then this is Anwood City, or Ancient City. And maybe that's the name of our forest too, is the Anwoods. So we'll go with that. I'll write that on my little list here. And wood, and that would be number 7. And wood city ruins. Look at that, we're chugging along. Let's do number 8. So this was also a ruined shrine. So we're going to figure out just the name of it, I guess. All right, on my little generator, I got a bunch of cool little names, and I kind of like the Pantheon of Corruption or the Pagoda of Oblivion. They sound both kind of ominous, but something willing to explore. So what we'll do is evens, it's the Pantheon. Oh, look at that, evens. So it's going to be the Pantheon of Corruption. It's going to be our number 8 shrine right there. Okay, so this guy's the tomb. This one might be pretty important for us right off the hop because we are starting in this city hex. So we're probably going to be either exploring this one first or making our way up to that temple, right? In terms of exploring dungeons. So, but this one might be first on the... I'm interested in seeing what the heck this tomb is in the middle of this rift here. So we got a tomb name generator. There's 10 of them here. I'll roll a d10. Boom. Number 1, Vault of the Frozen Emperor. So the Tomb of the Frozen Emperor we're going to go with. Okay, now let's do the village. We rolled a little village or a hamlet or something. I can't remember what it was. I think we'll make it a village, I think. And yeah, we'll do a village. Let's give it a name. We got, how many we have here? I think we got 10 again, so I'll roll that d10. Number 7 on the list is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Barnmouth? Okay. The village of Barnmouth. So maybe they're like a farming community or something like that. And let's figure out their population. So we have a village, once again, 6 to 9. I'll roll that d10 again. And we'll find out how many people are there. 3. So they're going to have 300 people in that village of Barnmouth. And finally, the big hex here, the big city where we start out. I pulled up the name generator, but I don't want to have like a silly name I can't be pronouncing over and over again playing in this. So I'm just going to go with the first one. It's kind of easy. Greyfast. It's almost like Greyhawk, right? But we'll just call ours Greyfast. And we're going to find out the population. So it being a big city, once again, 10 to 60,000. We're going to see how many people live in here. There's only 30,000 people that live in the city of Greyfast. Now breaking it on down to this little castle. He might be one of the good guys, right? He might be coming from this main city and holding off this area because I did do some rolls previous for these, and this castle is actually a large concentric castle with a character in it. And this one just across the river here was actually a large concentric castle as well, but it had humans, and then as I kept rolling, it had brigands or it could have been deserted. I forget which one it was, but I might lean towards brigands, right? I might lean toward this being occupied by some bad fellas, right? And then maybe this is like a military outpost or something to keep these guys in check, right? Because we have a little road coming on down the way. This small castle was also, what was it? A large shelled keep with a character in it. So maybe there's a bad character here, right? This might be where a big bad evil guy lives. And then these are his his henchmen and whatnot. And they might be patrolling these lands, because what I want to do down here is for Rift City is I almost want to make it like a goblin city, right? So maybe everything down south is a little dangerous, and this the military here is holding off these guys from invading northward, and then this is all kind of wild land to go and discover and everything like that. That's the way I want to play this, I'm thinking. I think I might make this village the good guys as well. Make some, maybe some elves and stuff live in here, or dwarves even just close to the mountain. And then they're fending off the goblins and the evil guys here with the help sometimes of this little highway of military excursions from these guys too. I don't know. I don't know what these guys are doing over here, right? The shrines and everything like that. We can play with that later. For right now, I think I'm gonna hash these out a little bit more, make a couple hexes so that we can get started, and then we'll let the rest of this develop later on. We can make some rolls or for stuff like that, but maybe the NPCs we discover and the rumors we find in taverns and whatnot and all these hexes will fill us in on what's going on down south as we play. But for right now, I'll just do that. We've named a good half of the place. I want to get into it. I want to dive in and start playing with the characters, see what they do, see how they interact with everybody. So we'll end it here, and I will make a couple little hexes. I'll hash out some maps here so we can jump right into the city and start playing our game finally.